Ladies and gentlemen, we start with something that we as a country must be very, very proud of. The work that's been put, the effort that's been put by our forces, especially the Border Roads Organization, the BRO, in keeping connectivity on even through inclement weather. One of the most treacherous routes and the most difficult ones that quite literally cut off the valley that is Srinagar from Ladakh for nearly 6 months in a year has now been connected again inside 68 days. It's no mean achievement, ladies and gentlemen. This is perhaps the most treacherous route that one would encounter, the one which has been always pushed through a hail of blizzards and at all points in time, largely in the winter months up till May, was never accessible. This is the Zojila Pass. The Zojila Pass has now been thrown open to vehicular traffic and connectivity restored in just over 2 months, ladies and gentlemen. A phenomenal achievement. This, despite the fact that the work on the Zojila tunnel is still on. There is a commitment made that that tunnel will be done by the time we celebrate Republic Day in 2024. But this connectivity is also strategically important and economically important for the people of Jammu Kashmir and also on the people of Ladakh. Let's try and understand what has happened. This Zojila Pass, this has now been reopened in 68 days. The mountain pass of blizzards, Asia's longest and strategic bi-directional route on which this tunnel is also now being constructed, is now open for vehicular traffic in 68 days. The tunnel that's being built here at Zojila is of 14 kilometers long at an altitude of 11,575 feet or 3,528 meters. It's located in the Kargil district of Ladakh and it will connect the Srinagar Valley to Leh on the National Highway 1 and will bring about an all-round economic and socio-cultural integration and of course prosperity, important from a defense point of view also. This tunnel is still being built. It should reduce the travel time from 3 hours to a mere 15 minutes. That's what it'll do. Speed limit inside this tunnel will be 80 kilometers per hour, all-weather connectivity. Now, the significance of this Zojila Pass. It's immensely important from a very strategic point of view. It's key to operational preparedness of the armed forces. It facilitates the availability of essential goods and supplies for the people of Ladakh, accelerates development and tourism in both the Union territories, all-weather connectivity between Dras, Kargil and Leh. In 1948, Pakistani raiders seized the pass during the Indo-Pakistan War of 1947-48 to try and cut off Ladakh from the rest of India and capture Ladakh. Let's go across to Lieutenant General KJS Dhillon for more details. Namaste, Jai Hind sir. What a proud moment for us that those areas which used to be disconnected for 6 months now have been connected again in 68 days.
Jai Hind Anand and Jai Hind to all your viewers. Yes, it's a great moment and it's a great feat and achievement of the Border Road Organization, BRO as it is popularly called, which is responsible for maintenance and opening of all the roads which are in the border areas, including this Srinagar and Leh road, which is passing through the Great Himalayan region from Zojila Pass. As you very rightly brought out in the opening remarks, for the benefit of your viewers, I must explain the strategic significance of Zojila Pass. Zojila Pass is located at the height of 11,600 feet and beyond. It is on the Great Himalayan range. The Great Himalayan range bifurcates the Kashmir Valley and Kargil and Leh Ladakh side of it. So all the essential goods which are required for the public of Kargil and Leh go from the Srinagar side or the Kashmir Valley, because Kashmir Valley Banihal tunnel remains open 24/7 all 12 months these days. So it's very important for the public of Ladakh region because their fresh vegetables, fruits, even their vehicles, petroleum products, FOL and other things also go from this side only. As you said, it used to remain closed for 6 months, and this year it has opened up in 68 days, which is 5 days earlier than the last year. Last year it remained closed for 73 days. And talking about the strategic significance of Zojila, as you very rightly brought out, north of Zojila is Indian Army's 14 Corps and south of Zojila is Indian Army's 15 Corps.
Yeah.
So strategic movement of troops from one corps zone to the other corps zone in case of hostilities with either the western neighbor or the northern neighbor, it is very important that Zojila remains open, and it should open up before the campaigning season starts. Before the passes on the line of control and line of actual control open up, the Zojila must be opened so that we move our forces in and out of one corps zone or the other. So it's strategically very, very important. Historically, it has a relevance. You brought out in 1947 when Pakistani raiders occupied this pass. 7th Light Cavalry of Indian Army, the tank regiment, was used very effectively to throw them out. So it's a very important pass. And just as a sort of a nostalgia, I was the person who declared it open in 2019 as 15 Corps Commander. Lovely. And that time it happened in the month of April 2019. And one more important thing and very interesting thing I must tell you, Zojila Pass gets about 20 feet to 30 feet of standing snow during winters. And I have stayed in the place called Baltal at the base of Zojila camp, Zojila Pass, for more than 2 months as a young captain in 1989. And this pass, you cannot see the alignment of the pass, you cannot see the pass also because it's totally covered with snow. And let me tell you, the leading dozer driver of Beacon, Project Beacon of BRO, is a gentleman called Mr. Anayatullah. He is popularly called Tullah of Zojila. He is the leading dozer driver who finds the alignment of the road, and he makes the first cut in the snow, 30 feet of snow. And then other people follow him. And beauty of this man is, he is specially abled, he cannot speak, he cannot hear. But he is the leading dozer driver who leads and who makes the first cut in that snow. And his name is Anatullah, and he is very popularly called Tullah of Zojila. I written a book. In that book, I made a special mention of this gentleman and have devoted one subchapter to him. These are the people who make stories. These are people who make histories. And if BRO is able to open this pass in 68 days, Tullah of Zojila has a great role to play in that. He has been doing it for years now.
Well, a big salute and thank you to Tullah ji and for what he's been doing. But sir, kitna jokham uthana padega, and you have to be fearless to be able to do that. That you are going to uncharted territories and you are going to follow, you are going to trailblaze and you are going to decide a path. और आप dozer लेके जा रहे हो, थोड़ा सा इधर उधर गया तो dozer भी गया, आप भी गए. Everything comes to another, and he's the only one who's been able to do it.
Yes. If the dozer loses the trail or loses the alignment, it goes down by thousands of feet. Thousands of feet in that 30 feet of snow. That is the type of risk which is involved. And we as Indians, we must salute these heroes, these brave hearts who are doing it for us day in and day out. They are the unsung heroes. They are the heroes of the nation. The nation should be proud of such people.
Sir, you are former GOC 15 Corps. So on air, live on the broadcast, I'm going to make a very humble request. Please help facilitate a conversation with Inayatullah ji. We'd love to feature him on the right stand, celebrate him, and let all of Hindustan know who he is and what and his service is. So I'm going to make that request live on the channel.
I'll do that. I'll speak to the DG BR Lieutenant General Rajiv Chaudhary, who is a coursemate and NDA coursemate and squadron type, and we'll have a person who will be able to speak on Tullah's behalf, and we'll have it done. In fact, as a matter of fact, Tullah has also been awarded by Northern Army Commander's Commendation Card in 2019. Lieutenant General Ranbir Singh honored him on the spot. So
we'd love to feature him and of course have a conversation via somebody who can enable that conversation here on the right stand, and the sooner the better. Shubh kaam mein deri kyun? The other thing, General Dhillon, I also want to understand, you mentioned the strategic importance, defense-wise the importance that before the other passes open, we need to have this open. Have you faced or borne the brunt of this pass being closed in the past during your period when you were GOC 15 Corps?
Not when I was GOC 15 Corps, but earlier the pass used to open any time between May and June. And that was also the time, or maybe earlier than that, the passes on the line of actual control or line of control used to also open up. And if the enemy wanted to do any mischief, because our troops which are deployed on the line of actual control, they were stocked with rations and ammunition the previous year, before the winter started. And by the time the summer comes in, or this pass opens, or the passes on the line of actual control open, they're down to zero levels of their rations at least. So before the campaigning season starts, that means before a war can be joined, the troops have to be reinforced, they have to be replenished with their ammunition, with their rations. And additional troops which during winters are pulled back for rest and recoup and otherwise, they have to be reinducted so that they are available on the place of action much before the action can start. Without going into more details, it is important to understand the work the BRO is doing for the nation. They have opened up this pass in the middle of March. And when the actual passes in the line of actual control, if they open up in April, we have adequate time to replenish our troops, replenish the ammunition, replenish the fuels and logistics installations and other things. So we are very well prepared to take on any mischief by the enemy. So strategic importance of this pass as well as the Manali route is very, very important for fighting preparedness or the defense preparedness along the line of actual control or line of control.
छोटी छोटी चीज़ें, एक सड़क के खुल जाने से, एक टनल के बन जाने से, कुछ लोगों के काम कर जाने से कितना फ़र्क पड़ जाता है, देश और सुरक्षित हो जाता है, मजबूत हो जाता है. People have to understand this and also appreciate this. Thank you. Congratulations on the success of your book, Kitne Ghazi Aaye, Kitne Ghazi Gaye. I have to always make that mention. I'll never forget it. It's been such a fantastic read and you brought it out yourself, the aspects that you have highlighted. Thank you very much, General KGS Dhillon. Always a pleasure speaking with you. Jai Hind, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Anand, and thank you, Jai Hind. Thank you, viewers.